thank you, Kimberly, for opening the meeting. I was just going over the items from our leadership, or I should say our officers meeting. So we're looking at doing a Moments of Truth activity. So look for an email where you will be asked to give your feedback. And the way I was envisioning doing it, there are several key areas that they want people to give feedback on. So rather than asking everybody to comment on every area, I thought, why not split it up and have a few people assigned to each different area? And that way we don't have to overwhelm everybody in the club trying to fill out, the responses for every area. So how does that sound? Sounds good to Kimberly. All right. Well, I got a second on it, so I'm okay then. Thank you. So that's what I was thinking, how we would proceed with that. After we get back with our Moment of Truth response, then we are going to put together a club success plan. The club success plan is what we're going to do. It's not just to win points on DCP points. Of course, we want to win DCP points, but the reason we want to do that is because each one of those items is of benefit to the members of the club. So people getting educational awards, that's a benefit to the club. That means everybody's involved, everybody's making progress, everybody's feeling good about that they can check off, I've done this project, that project, I'm learning, I'm making progress moving forward. And the other items that would make our club successful, gaining new members. So we'll talk about what we can do in a plan for the year to maybe have some membership events. So that's the type of thing that we're talking about doing. And I wanted to just make sure that everybody knew where we were going. Welcome, Bill. So since I haven't seen Jelena and I haven't heard, has anybody got a text from her? I could run in the other room and check my phone and see if I got anything.
I haven't received a text from her, but I'll send one.
Oh, please, thanks. And if Artemis is kind of hit or miss, has been hit or miss because in the summertime she spends a lot of time at on the west side of the state at her trailer. So if she has internet, I'm sure she'll join us. And if she doesn't, then we will do I'll do my magical spinning wheel of random questions. Because that's always, I feel like that's always fun.
And good for you for jumping on that, whatever, like that task, like volunteering for that last minute. With a good solution.
Thank you. So with that, our agenda is full, so we'll move forward and go into our word master. Please welcome Sheila, word master.
Thank you, Karen. The word today is empower. That means it's a verb. It's to give someone the authority or confidence or ability to do something. Today's word is empower. It means to give power or ability to somebody. At my company, Buswell Biomedical, we're developing the upward mobility, or UPMO, to allow patients in hospitals, empower them to take themselves for activities of daily living like toileting. Empowering is very important. Makes everybody stronger. It makes you mentally stronger. Please use the word of the day in a sentence, if you can, in your speeches. Thanks.
Thank you.
I will put the meaning in the chat.
Thank you. All right, then we'll move forward to our prepared speech section of the meeting. Our first speaker is Kimberly Baird Cooley. Kimberly, before you begin your speech, will you give us your title and your project?
The title is Don't Take Anything Personally. The project is Engaging Humor Pathway. Engage your audience with humor, 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, let's welcome Kimberly for Don't Take Anything Personally.
When I first started my current job, I felt like Cinderella. My previous job had been horrible. Horrible, I tell you. I felt like I was Cinderella in the before portion of the story in her little rag dress, sweeping with a broom made out of whatever she could find, mopping with a bucket of dirty water for her evil stepmother and her ugly stepsisters with the help of the local vermin. It was awful. And so when I eventually got a job at the University of Michigan, the #1 academic medical center in the entire state of Michigan. Ooh, I had my ball gown on. I got in my little pumpkin, and I had my slippers on too. Now, I don't have teeny tiny feet like Cinderella, but I had glass slippers nonetheless. And when I started this job, they gave me a book to read. It was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it was kind of like the spiritual-ish, new agey stuff. And I read this and I was like, what is going on here? One of these agreements was don't take anything personally. And what Don Miguel Ruiz meant by that was people's actions are about them, not you. So their actions, their behaviors, whether positive or negative, are often influenced by their own experiences or their beliefs or their perspectives. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that's very true. A couple years back, I was spending some time with my beloved friend and her 2 daughters, who I've known ever since they were born. And they love me and I love them. So we were playing some sort of imagination game, and out of nowhere, one of them stops and says, Aunt Kimmy? And I said, yeah, yes, honey. Um, why do you have a bumpy belly? And I said, a bumpy belly? What do you mean? And she pushed on my belly fat and she said, you have a bumpy belly. Why is it like that? And oh my God, if someone had said that to me in my early 20s, I would have just simply passed away because I was fully deep into the fashion magazines, the models of the time, all of the pressures of being a young woman that says you have to be a toothpick or you're not beautiful. But that was my story. Those were my perceptions. Those are my beliefs of the past. And I realized this child isn't looking at my bumpy belly thinking it's positive or negative. It just is. It's just a bumpy belly. So I looked at her and I said, well, baby, some people have bumpy bellies. Some people have flat bellies. Some people have really big bellies and some people have really small bellies. But all bellies are there to protect our internal organs and put food inside of them. And she said, hey, can we play lions now? I want to be the lion and you're going to be the zookeeper and I'm going to chase you around in a circle until I get to eat you. I said, okay, great. But that's when that message really hit home for me. You really can't take anything personally because through the eyes of a child, a bumpy belly is just a belly. And through the eyes of a 20-year-old, a bumpy belly is maybe could have been the worst thing someone would have said to me at that time. And through the eyes of a 30-year-old, I just don't care anymore. It just is. All I care about is spending time with my beloved nieces. And so I encourage you, what have you taken personally recently? What stories are you telling yourself? And what stories can you let go of? Thank you.
Hey, Kimberly, I've never heard of that story. I mean, I've never heard of that book. And I never heard that story either. That was pretty funny. let's move on to our second speaker. Our second speaker is Samara Underwood. Is this your first speech? Is this your icebreaker? All right.
Yeah.
All right. We love icebreakers. So we are going to hear a speech, a 4 to 6 minute speech from Samara. She's going to tell us about herself, and we can't wait to hear it. Samara, take it away. You are empowered.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. I guess the pathway that I am is persuasive influence, and so the title is I Have a Voice. Okay. Have you ever felt that your voice was meant for more than just speaking? That it was meant to encourage, to inspire, to lead, and sometimes to stand firm against adversity? I stand before you today not just as a wife, a mother, a daughter, sister, and friend, but as someone who has learned that finding your voice can be the difference between silence and strength. My identity and my values. So I am a servant at heart. As a teacher, my voice has been used for over the 20 years that I've been teaching to shape minds, to calm fears, and to ignite curiosity. As a member of the military, my voice must be steady, confident, and decisive. The challenge that I once faced. There was a time when my voice was silenced. During a time in my military career, I was bullied by my supervisor, by someone who wanted to be promoted and used intimidation to try to push me down. I didn't respond with anger or confrontation, but I used my voice in emails. I probably shouldn't have used the email, but my voice was going to be heard in one way or the other. So instead, I responded with written email because at that moment, written words were the only way I felt safe and confident enough to speak. But I realized something. I shouldn't have to rely on silence or written words to defend myself. I wanted the ability to speak up in real time and to stand my ground with emotional intelligence and with confidence. That's why I joined Toastmasters, so that I wouldn't have to be silent anymore. Here I am learning to communicate with confidence and to be empowered, to use my voice clearly and to handle difficult situations without fear. And I hope that Toastmasters can give me the tools to do that. Beyond that, I am endlessly curious. I'm working toward becoming an entrepreneur, not just for the title, but to create, to solve problems, and to give back to others and to the community. My voice is more than sound. It's my influence, my passion, my service, and my legacy. And so is yours. So I challenge each of you to use your voice to teach, to lead, to comfort, to create, and stand against injustice. Because when you find your voice and use it with courage and an emotional intelligence, no one can silence you.
Mara, I'll just give you a standing ovation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. I never would have thought that was your first speech. Good job. We'll talk more about that later.
Thank you.
I should have done this before, but I just, I'm a little bit scatterbrained and I remembered it now. Please send comments in chat to the speakers to let them know your impressions. That way they can get some feedback besides their formal evaluation. So before our next speech, let's just take a minute to do that, all right? If you don't know how to do that, you can click on that little ellipse right by the speaker's tile, and you can go to the chat that way. I'm just putting my little comments in for Kimberly and Samara. While people are typing in their feedback, I'm gonna run and get my phone real quick. Are we ready?
Yes, I am.
I want to make sure Anthony's ready.
Yes, can you allow me to share my screen?
Can you try it? Because I thought everyone was
Oh.
allowed.
Yeah, I have access, yes.
All right, let me give your introduction. Please welcome today Anthony Gore. Anthony is working on his feedback and evaluation portion of his pathway, level 1. He's given this speech in a prior situation, got feedback, and now he is representing and applying the feedback that he received. Now his speech will be evaluated today by Toastmaster Bill Moylan. So for a 5 to 7 minute speech, let us welcome Anthony Gore.
Good evening, everyone. I delivered this speech initially on June 26th. It was a parent and student information meeting for a college tour that we took 20 students on. We went to the East Coast region of the country. We went to Ohio State, University of Pittsburgh, Cheyney University, Lincoln University, Howard University, Morgan State, and University of District of Columbia. So my original evaluator was my boss. She gave me great feedback. So from there, I'm presenting this speech to you all, and my mentor, Bill, is going to evaluate me on this speech. So thank you for your time. So this is the DABCEP and College Campus Tours Parent Information Meeting. DABCEP is Detroit Area Pre-College Engineering Program, and we partner with College Campus Tours to deliver out-of-state STEM college tours. College Campus Tours is based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the owner of that organization is Sean Lane. So some of the information that we will discuss tonight for this overview meeting is an overview of the college tour schedule, what to expect on this college tour, the code of conduct, the dress code, your room assignments, and at the end, we will have Q&A for parents or students if you happen to have any questions. The college tour overview is the HBCU Out-of-State STEM College Tour. The dates of the tour is July 8th to July 11th. There will be 7 chaperones, 20 students, and we will travel to Ohio, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and Maryland. The schools that we will visit is Ohio State University, University of Pittsburgh, Lincoln University, Cheyney University, Morgan State, University of District of Columbia, and Howard University. Things to remember. Always be open to change. Always be open to change. Things may vary, so always be ready to pivot. And if the first plan doesn't happen, always be ready to pivot. And being on time is the most important thing. So being punctual. So things to remember. You should be in your room by 11 o'clock. There will absolutely be no swimming, any swimming pool activities. There's a lot of liabilities that come along with it, so don't even pack a bathing suit. Students will be responsible for managing their own money. However, breakfast and lunch will be covered by us. Some of the student code of conducts, students will not participate in any romantic activity. Male and female students will reside in separate rooms. There will be an 11 o'clock curfew, and after 11 o'clock, security will come in and check to make sure everyone is in their rooms. So the code of or the dress code, students will receive 4 DAPSAP t-shirts each day, with 1 being designated per day. And each day the t-shirts must be worn so we can identify you because you are on someone else's campus. So it's important for your safety and our safety to be able to identify you. Here's the chaperone information. Myself, I'm the lead for this college tour. Kenyatta Jones, Crystal Jones, and Mercedes Doherty. So the chaperone responsibilities. So it would be 1 chaperone to 7 students. That would be the ratio. Be with your students at all times during the tour. We will always keep a head count for all departures and update the Remind app so you all will always know where we are when we update that. So please arrive at the DAPSAP office on Tuesday, July 8th by 4:30 a.m. We have a long day ahead of us, so make sure that you're on time so we can stay on schedule. Are there any questions? So just to give you some feedback from the trip, it was a great experience. The students was able to be empowered by being on this tour because they had an opportunity to get exposure to new universities. They were able to gain a lot of insight from the different disciplines within engineering. It was a very impactful trip. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. And now let's provide some feedback in chat directly to Anthony. All right. Whoops. That's not the one I wanted. All right, can I get a thumbs up when you are ready to when you've completed your comments and ready to move on? All right. We're going to do a random word generator. I love doing fun little games with dice and spinning wheels. So we're going to do this random topic generator. So let's see. We have Donald Stuckey joining us. Is that somebody who was invited by a friend here? Donald, did you find us on the internet?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wonderful. What you're about to see is Table Topics. Table Topics is where I'll call on our members and ask them to give a 1 to 2 minute presentation. It's going to be totally impromptu. They don't know what the topic is. And in fact, I don't exactly know what the topic is because I'm spinning these wheels for random topics.
Awesome.
All right, so let's see. I will ask our first random speaker to be Bill Moylan. Not so good. Habit. Toastmaster Bill Moylan, will you please speak on a not so good habit?
Thank you very much, Madam Topic Master. Fellow Toastmasters and Don, our welcome guest. They say if you can do something for 13 or 20 days, is it, you'll be able to do it for life. One year, I gave up pizza and chocolate. It's a way to get better. My pizza intake has gone down a lot. I don't have chocolate as much. But there's this not so good habit that I have that I've tried to do away with. It's something that's not good. And I could never get past the 13th day. It won't make you fat. It's not immoral. And it's not illegal. But everyone kind of gets turned off by it. It is complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do my complaining challenge, I need to empower myself that I will not complain about the weather, though it has been really hot. I won't complain about politics. I won't complain about anything. And it's amazing. Those first few days, it's difficult. Then I'm just saying how empowering it is. And then I hit that 13th day. There's something that happens that I'm watching on TV, whatever, we lose the baseball game, whatever it might be, the complaints come. So that's my big challenge, to do away with my not so good habit of complaining. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, Bill. Our next random speaker will be Sheila Buswell. So let me go back to my random wheel. Weirdest. Okay, weirdest what? Weirdest pet or animal. All right, Sheila, let's hear about the weirdest pet or animal.
Thank you, Karen. You're doing a great job as the topics master impromptu. Period. Not impromptu. The weirdest pet is not going to sound like a weird pet. But my niece just recently told me that she got a male hamster. And I don't know how to delicately put this, but the balls, for lack of a better word, are huge on those things. And it's like a third of its mass. It's like, and it's totally weird to look at. And it grosses me out. I'm like, if a human had those proportions, it'd be something wrong with it. Like it would long since gone to the hospital. And I don't know if it's a weird thing, but it's definitely because it's normal for that genus and species, right? But I don't appreciate. I wouldn't want to pet and stroke that thing because ew. But that's my weird pet and like I wouldn't have one. Back to you.
Thank you. That was interesting. All right, let's go on to our next impromptu speaker who, how about Samara? Fascinating. Pet. Oh, let's do a different one. We've already done pet. Fascinating, something else. Profession. Please speak about a fascinating profession.
Okay, a fascinating profession that I think that is fascinating. Um, let me see. A fascinating profession that I would be interested in pursuing. I would say entrepreneurship. I would like to pursue a being an entrepreneurship because I feel like it would give me more control of the income that I have. I would be more passionate about it. And I would be more in control of my time. So it's just a matter, it's fascinating in the aspect of just the unknown and the uncertainty of it. So that's probably why I'm just kind of tiptoeing in that area of my life. So it would be fascinating just to be in control of my time, and I'll be more passionate in pursuing something that I have control over. Okay, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Samara.
Mhm.
Donald, would you like to try it?
Yes, I would.
All right, let me give you your topic. Popular. Oh no, we're not doing that one again. Popular holiday. So please speak about a popular holiday.
Thank you, Madam Topic Master. Popular holiday is, I think the most popular holiday is the slate of holidays that come around the end of the year. So your Thanksgiving or Christmas, those kind of things. And one thing that I really like about them is that they're very diverse. There are many different holidays that occur that every group can create, and it is something that can bring us together, celebrating various religious beliefs or celebrating the communities that we live in, or just being able to celebrate our families, which is something that all of us holds together. So I would say that that is one of the reasons why I think that the holidays at the end of the year are one of the popular holidays. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you for sticking your toe in the water here at Metro Masters and having the bravery, empowered yourself to speak in impromptu. Thank you. And now let's go to Toastmaster Anthony Gore. Let me bring up my wheel of random questions.
Okay.
Annoying. Annoying what? Annoying chore. So, Anthony, please speak about an annoying chore.
All right. Thank you, Madam Madam Topic Master Karen. So, growing up, one of the most annoying chores that I had the honor, well, not the honor, but was forced to do was dusting. I would do any other chore that was tasked to me. However, dusting took forever. It seemed like after going over certain areas or certain furniture over and over and over, my grandmother would come to me and say, "Hey, you missed that spot." Or, "Hey, you might want to use some more cleaning on this area so it could shine more." So, spending Saturday afternoons with the daunting task of dusting, I didn't feel empowered to do what I wanted to do as far as going out and hanging out with my friends. So the daunting task of dusting, I found that to be the most annoying chore to man.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, Anthony. And now we'll move on to Kimberly Baird Cooley. And let's see what the wheel of randomness brings up. Happiest. Happiest what?
Hey.
Happiest vacation. So please speak, Kimberly Baird Cooley, on the happiest vacation.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. My happiest vacation in recent memory was several years ago, before my husband and I got married. We took a trip, which we always do annually, to the Upper Peninsula. And along the way, we decided we are going to stop at Mackinac Island. We haven't done this since we were little. It'll be so much fun. We'll ride bikes, we'll get fudge, there's horses. And we got on that boat and we had a lovely boat ride on the way over. And it was like we brought a cloud of doom with us somehow that appeared out of nowhere above our little heads, because the moment we paid for that bicycle rental, it was a downpour. And we thought, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to ride our bikes anyway. We already paid. We're here. And while everyone else was hiding out under awnings and, scurrying into restaurants, we had what felt like the whole island to ourselves, riding our bikes through giant puddles, getting drenched by the rain, and laughing like fools the entire time. And it was so stinking fun. Even though we were soaked to the bone on the way home, we just laughed and laughed and laughed, and I felt like I was a little kid again. So that was one of my happiest vacation memories. Thanks for making me think of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful table topics. I enjoyed hearing all of your instantaneous responses. It was great. Let's move on now to the evaluation portion of our meeting. We do not have a general evaluator assigned, so as Toastmaster of the Day, I'll jump into that role. So we'll start with the evaluation of Kimberly Baird Cooley's speech, "Don't Take It Personally," by Sheila Buswell. Sheila, 2 to 3 minute evaluation of Kimberly's speech.
Kimberly, you did a really good job. It showed that you use hand gestures, and honestly, it was evident to me that it wasn't your first speech. And I liked that you tied the Cinderella part into that story about not, taking things personally, because that's not um a line that most people would draw about taking things personally. And I think everybody could identify, I definitely could, about being like, I flipped it a little bit. Like in my mind, I don't have any kids, but I have been in charge with my nephews when they were little, right? Being embarrassed by things they would say. And I know that they didn't mean it when they would say weird stuff. But like the context was weird. And if it was taken out of context, and that takes a lot of emotional intelligence to do that. And the way you framed it, to not take that book and how it was assigned, University of Michigan means nothing to me because I'm, as you know, in Missouri and I'm not from the Midwest. And like the sports ball is a huge deal in my house. University of Michigan and University of Illinois are like things. I don't care about any of it. So I didn't know it was a big deal, but I move here and it's a big deal. And I'm like, I should have known that. But like the way you put it and framed it, I definitely understood the context of like, this is a big deal. It was a big job. And you juxtaposed it against, this job that you had that was not great. And that's where the Cinderella system, like, analogy came through. I mean, when you mentioned, I cannot tell you how much it tied it to, like, we obviously have had different jobs, but when you tied it to not taking things personally, that's universal. And little kids saying things, and it's just them saying stuff. It's not, they don't say it with an agenda. And that how you alliterated that about, that's how most people are. They're tied up in their own stuff, and it's more about them than it is about you, and how that book made you realize that. And it was a book that you came to with those four things that I wrote the name of the book down because I want to read it also. Like, it's very interesting to say that. But also, I think just your hand gestures and the way you were very passionate, and you did show humor in that. And I can definitely identify with the bumpy belly being something that you would avoid in your 20s, but as you get older, yeah, you don't really care that much. But like the ultimate thing, I think, is that you made it approachable. It's not something that everybody was given a book. When I started at Anheuser-Busch, this is 20 years ago, I was given a book, The Blue Ocean Mentality. I did not read that book. Right? Like it wasn't like it's nothing I took a life lesson from. So I think that was the fact that you took a life lesson from it, and B, you were able to write a speech about it. And that's all. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. Now, Donald, have you been to a Toastmaster meeting before?
This is my first time.
Well, I just want to explain to you that we always have evaluations of the prepared speeches, because it's not enough to feel confident and comfortable giving a speech. You have to get some feedback so that you can learn how to take it to the next level. So we always give feedback. We tell people what they've done well, and we try to give them always something that they can improve upon for the next time. And with that, I will introduce myself as the evaluator for Samara Underwood, who gave her icebreaker speech today. Samara, you gave your icebreaker speech today. I was so excited to hear your icebreaker, because you've already told us a little bit about yourself in previous meetings, and I was looking for that whole story. The thing that I liked about your speech, first, you started with a question to engage the audience. So that's very important for all of us. We always want to get the audience's engagement right away. Do it with a question, do it with a show of hands, ask them to imagine something. So you did that very effectively. Then as you went on, you gave us a snippet of all the different areas of your life, but in the context of finding your voice. So in the context of finding your voice, you told us you were a teacher for 20 years. You told us you're in the military. You told us about your family relationships. And then you gave us your challenge, the challenge of being able to speak out when you were being pushed around, and being able to do it besides in email. So you gave us your personal challenge, and you gave us your motivation for why you joined Toastmasters. So I liked all those things, and you had a great speech structure, and the best thing was at the very end, you had a call to action. So in the end, you asked all of us to also engage like you have, to find your voice and to use it for influence, passion, service, and legacy. I wrote that down. I want to mention a few other things. I noticed you used very few filler words. You had very good eye contact. If I'm going to give you some ideas for things that you might want to do the next time, and your next speech is I think your next speech is facial expressions and body language. So let's focus on that next time when you give a speech. Let's make sure that your facial expression and your gestures, that would be your body language, you can use that to support the message of your speech. You weren't required to do that in the icebreaker, but I'm just giving you a tip of something that you can do for the next time. Make sure that when you practice your speech next time, practice it with the gestures that you intend to use. And that way, when it comes time to actually give the speech, it will be second nature and purposeful. And you'll be able to just get your message across and use your voice that much further by creating that picture. The picture tells 1,000 words. That facial expression and those gestures are the picture that will go along with your voice. So that ends my evaluation. Now we will hear an evaluation of Anthony Gore's speech. It will be done by his mentor, Bill Moylan. So let's welcome Bill to give this evaluation.
Thank you, Karen. And fellow Toastmasters, our guest on, and most of all, Anthony. Anthony, great presentation. I liked your organization, your eye contact, how you connected with the audience, and your pace. All very well done. Up front, when you were giving us the PowerPoints and what schools you're going to visit, it was just like the logos. That's enough. You could have had a map too to kind of show the big expansion you're going to go to, but that might be a little bit overdoing it. People would get the idea where the schools are. Like it's in the name, Pitt, Howard. They know that's in Washington, D.C., Ohio State. Well, okay, we'll leave it with that. But some of the other positive things you were doing is you were building anticipation and excitement. But one of the things that kind of fell down on, like the 3 points to remember, be on time, be flexible, the next one was this long list. A trick, the rule of 7. Never have more than 7 lines of text on a page. What you could have done with that one and the next one, the code of conduct, which I couldn't read, make it a 2-sided form and then have the students sign it. Now, they're going to have it, you can give it to them, but the fact of signing it with their parents there, boy, then it's kind of like this commitment. It's kind of a tact with the types of different things you could do to empower them to be an ambassador of DAPSET and Detroit, Michigan. So besides the t-shirts, they could wear, lions or tigers caps, something to distinguish them. Yep, they're out of town. They got their t-shirts and doing that. But this is the idea of the camaraderie you want to have, and you can impose that on them. Some of the things too, and this is more the mechanics of Toastmasters. You kind of told us what the speech was and it was done, but to have in our online Free Toast Host site, your title and what your project is and what your, introduction is for the Toastmaster and the rest of us. But you see, then you don't have to go back there and try to tell us these things. It's there and it's a little bit cleaner. Here's some things to challenge yourself on. One, is, as I mentioned about empowering the students, it's also of what you expect back from them. Do you have some kind of a group chat where they can post pictures or pieces and also letting their parents know they're staying out of trouble? And finally, you guys didn't go to the Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian's phenomenal museum in Washington, D.C.? I'm incensed. You didn't take those DAPSET students there, but I'm
We
sure you had a great time. Good speech. You're really improving, Anthony. Congratulations. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, thank you. And I will evaluate your evaluation, Bill, and send you some comments afterwards. So now we move further on into the evaluation portion of the meeting. Our club does an evaluation of table topics. And so I will take on since I'm taking the role of general evaluator, I'll take on the role of table topics evaluation. I'm going to say that for each person who spoke, each one of you really grasped on and really took to heart what was that adjective noun, whatever that adjective was, happy, weird, whatever it was. You took that and really made it your own, each one of you. I really appreciate that because emotions come through when you speak. Emotions come through way more than information. So always make sure that what you're saying, that you have some kind of an emotion behind it. I did see it today in the table topics, and I applaud each person for that. I'm not going to go into individual people's table topics responses. I didn't take the details that closely, but I will say that I enjoyed hearing everybody's response because I felt everyone gave a very genuine and thoughtful response. So thank you for that. Counter and grammarian, did we have anybody taking notes on the word of the day use? I noted that this word was highly used today. Good word, empowerment. And I heard it multiple times from Bill. I heard it from Kim and Anthony. No, not from Kim. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard it from Kim. Sheila.
I didn't use it, but Anthony did.
I heard Anthony. I heard Bill. I heard somebody else use it. Who was it? Was it Donald? Was it Samara who used it? I don't know. I wasn't assigned to be the grammarian, so I didn't keep track as closely as if I had been assigned. But I did want to mention that as far as filler words, we have sort of a range going today on filler words. Some of the what I'll call newer people are still using a lot of filler words. It takes practice to break a bad habit. So just as Bill was talking about the challenge of breaking the habit of complaining, we all need to work on breaking that habit of filler words, ahs, ums, so's. And the more you concentrate on it and the more you learn to pause, the more you can remove those filler words and make your delivery much smoother. So let's work on that. And now we'll go to our timer and get our timers report. Kim, can you explain why we keep time and give our timers report?
Certainly. So the purpose of timekeeping in our Toastmasters meeting is because when we are asked to speak, we typically do not have an unlimited amount of time to be speaking. So we practice that in Toastmasters, and we keep to an agenda to mimic the type of environment within which you'd normally be giving a speech. Our prepared speeches, I did not time myself, even though I volunteered as timer, I forgot. I'm sorry. Moving on. Samara gave her icebreaker speech, which was a 4 to 6 minute time frame. And we came close. It was 3 minutes and 21 seconds. So we just need to stretch a tiny bit more, but the structure of the speech was amazing. Anthony gave a 5 to 7 minute speech, which came in at 5 minutes and 21 seconds. For our table topics, Bill talked about his not so good habit of complaining for 1 minute and 50 seconds. Sheila talked about boy hamsters for 1 minute and 17 seconds. Samara talked about the fascinating profession of being an entrepreneur for 1 minute and 21 seconds. Our guest, Mr. Donald Stuckey, spoke about a popular winter holidays for 56 seconds. Anthony spoke about the annoying chore of dusting for 1 minute and 12 seconds. I spoke about the happiest holiday vacation for 1 minute and 39 seconds. Our evaluation portion, which is a 2 to 3 minute time frame, we all went a little bit over, ever so slightly. Sheila evaluated my speech in 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Karen evaluated Samara's speech in 3 minutes and 6 seconds, and Bill evaluated Anthony's speech in 3 minutes and 29 seconds. And that concludes the timer's report.
Thank you. Thank you. And now for the evaluation of the meeting in general. Our meeting started on time. We did not have all the roles filled, but we were able to get through those roles. We had volunteers for most of the roles that were not filled, although we could do better in future meetings by making sure that every role is filled. For instance, if we had somebody assigned as topics evaluator or an account or grammarian, we could have, had a more in-depth analysis of those items. Our guest was greeted, and I believe every speech got a really good evaluation that made the speaker feel valued and understand what they could do to grow. And that's why we're here. We're here as a safe environment to learn and to grow. Are there any other questions or comments about the meeting in general? No questions or comments? Go ahead.
May I please ask our guest, Mr. Donald Stuckey, to put your contact information in the chat if you'd be so kind, so we can send you some information about joining the club if you're interested.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
And Donald, what is an MLPP?
That is the name of my employer,
Oh,
Michigan
okay.
League for Public Policy. My supervisor, I do a lot of presentations and trainings, and my supervisor suggested this as a good option for professional development.
Great.
Oh, good. Good. And I agree with your supervisor. This is a good option for professional development because it gives you the opportunity to speak in front of a group, just like Anthony did today. Anthony's used a presentation that he'd done for work, and Jelena has done that in the past. Bill Moylan has done that. I think well, I don't know if everybody's done it. I know I have too. So this is a great opportunity to build up your skills in a safe, comfortable environment where we're all on each other's side, right? We're all here to support and help each other to grow, but not to sugarcoat. We don't just sugarcoat it and tell you that, oh, you're wonderful. Wouldn't change a thing. That's not why we're here. We're here to learn to grow and to get better at what we do. All right. Are there any questions or comments about the moment of truth that I discussed earlier? All right, moments of truth. We talked about that, Donald. We're going to survey our club members. So make sure that you look in your emails for that survey coming, and I will put it on my calendar to make sure that I do it within the next week so that everybody can get their responses back. All right, do we have any volunteers for roles for our next meeting? Would
I
anybody
just
like to take a roll?
I signed up for a couple things online.
Oh, you did? Oh, great. Great, Kim, thank you. And I know that our Vice President of Education, Jelena, is asking, putting, pre-assigning people for their speaking roles. So we will, oh, thank you.
So we need a Toastmaster of the day, a Word Master. The 3 speakers are assigned. If anyone else would like to speak, they could do as number 4 backup. Bill Moylan's Topic Master. We need a general evaluator, all the evaluators, and the others. So,
Okay,
Oh, I signed up for an evaluation and I signed up for the counter grammarian. Maybe it's needs to refresh.
huh. Let me send it out.
okay.
I did text Jelena and she didn't get back to me, so I don't know what happened. Like usually she's pretty on it, and she's usually so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I know she's been pretty busy at work. She said this is her busiest season, so maybe she got tied up.
To that end, this is exactly what I don't want to like sign up for the next meeting because I don't even know if I'll be at the next meeting yet. So I got.
Oh,
So I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are in that, and I'm sure that a lot of people are in the same situation with. Oh gosh, Mara's going back to
tough.
a teacher, right? So you going back to school. It's the first week of school or something. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
People are busy, is all I'm saying.
Yep. And with summer, and with vacations, et cetera, it's a challenge in the summer. But next time will be our last official summer. Well, we'll call it the last meeting before the start of school. So our next meeting will be on August 26th. So we'll look to fill out our agenda before that. Meanwhile, keep an eye on your email box and look for that moment of truth. Look for other communications from the club. Donald, since you're our guest, I just want to ask, do you have any questions or comments?
I'll just wait for the emails to come through. But this seems like a really good club, and I look forward to engaging further.
Great. Glad to hear it. All right, wonderful. All right, well, with that, I will ask our Sergeant at Arms to close the meeting.
Adjourned.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Great. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.